Today we're going to do week 8, and it's called Let's Review because we're going to review this week everything you've learned in the last 7 weeks. Go ahead and write your name, page 1. So all of this is page 1. Open it up. This is going to be page 2. This is going to be page 3. This is called Looking Back, Geography, Communities, and Government, Modeling Earth. Maps are flat models of Earth and its features. Globes are models too, but they are spheres. Spheres are like circles. People use different types of maps and globes to find all kinds of information about the world. Physical maps show what the land looks like. These maps show borders and places and bodies of water. Different colors of the map show how the land looks. Political maps show countries, states, capitals, and large cities. Borders are clearly marked in different colors and used to show different places. There are different maps for different purposes. However, most maps have things in common. Maps have a title, key, compass, rose, and a scale. Some maps also have a grid. The title of a map tells you the subject of a map. The title helps you know if a map will give you the information you need. A key explains what the symbols on a map mean. The key is usually in a separate box on the map. The compass rose is a drawing on the map and shows cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, and intermediate directions, northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast, and southwest. A map scale shows you and compare distances on a map with real-world distances. Many maps have lines that cross on a grid pattern. These lines make it easier to find exact locations on the map. Being able to understand your location in the world and your distance from other places is an important skill. Learning how to use a map will also help you get to certain places easier. So if I look here, here's the compass rose. Tells you the directions north, east, south, west. Here is the key map that tells you what these symbols mean. So this is the red dot is the state capital of Texas, Austin. This one with a circle and a star is Washington, D.C., the capital of the country. These lines going down and across is the grid. And I also wanted to point out the difference between a physical and a political map. So a physical map shows what the land looks like. So that would be like mountains, rivers, oceans, lakes. And here on the map you can see the river and the lakes. And a political map shows you the country, state, capitals, and large cities. So this map is actually a political map because it tells you the states, the borders, and the states and the cities. Our changing land. 3/4 of the earth is covered by water. The rest of the land is in many different shapes and sizes. Landforms are natural shapes such as mountains, hills, oceans, lakes, and rivers that make up the land's surface or crust. Heat, pressure, and movement in and on Earth formed most of the landforms thousands of years ago. Other forces change the way the Earth's surface looks. Earthquakes and volcanoes can create new landforms. Earthquakes move and separate the Earth's crust. Volcanoes shoot out lava which builds up and make new land. Ice, water, and wind can break down and carry land away. Nature usually changes landforms, but people also affect Earth. People build communities near landforms. They often clear the land for homes for farming. People also mine and land for resources such as coal and oil. Communities even build transportation systems that will work well with the landforms in the area. The shape of the land affects the climate of a community. Communities near a body of water stay cooler than those in the desert. Plants grown in a community for food and shelter depend on landforms there. Some plants grow well on grasslands. Others do best in high elevation of mountains. Communities change because landforms and people must learn ways to protect Earth. Freedom's reward. Americans are free and have equal rights. We have the freedom to vote in elections. Here we vote to approve or disapprove the laws of people who led our government. Each year on Constitution Day, September 17th, we celebrate the freedoms we have in our country. So right here it doesn't stop. It tells you to go to continue on page 4. So you actually have to go to the back. And at the bottom, it tells you continued from page 1. So this is where it is, continues. It is a perfect time to think about where The three very important historical documents. Our nation's leaders wrote the Declaration of Independence in 1776. It explains the rights people in our community think are important. It says people should be able to make their own laws. It also says the government should take care of its people. The U.S. Constitution is written plan for the government. It explains just how the government should be organized. It also tells you how people of the United States can approve all laws that the governments have passed. This document promises the Americans will have the right to vote. Many American leaders wanted the people's freedoms written down even more clearly, so they added the Bill of Rights to be the Constitution. This list of 10 freedoms Americans have is very important. It includes the freedoms of religion, speech, and the press. Americans also have the freedom to gather together and their right to own weapons. These three important documents help make the United States a good place to call home. All right, take out your gray sheet. Make sure you have your first and last name on the top and do the questions on the board.